What if I told you that years before Lamine Yamal became the biggest star of the World Cup, Xavi Hernandez already knew? When most people saw a talented teenager, Xavi saw something completely different. He saw a player capable of changing football. Many fans thought he was exaggerating. Others believed Barcelona was simply desperate for a new superstar. But today, after dominating the World Cup with Spain and proving he belongs among football's elite, those words don't sound crazy anymore. So what exactly did Xavi see in Lamine Yamal that nobody else noticed? And how did a 19-year-old become the player everyone feared on the biggest stage in football? When Lamine Yamal made his first team debut for Barcelona, most people saw exactly what they expected: a talented teenager, another promising La Masia graduate, a player with potential. But Xavi Hernández saw something completely different. He didn't see a prospect, he saw the future of football. At the time, many people thought Xavi was putting too much pressure on a kid who hadn't even finished high school. After all, football has seen hundreds of next superstars. Most disappear. Only a few become legends. So why was Xavi so certain? Because he watched Lamine every single day. Long before the world discovered him, Xavi had already seen what happened behind closed doors. The confidence, the intelligence, the maturity, the fearlessness. Qualities that simply cannot be taught. One of the first things that surprised Xavi wasn't Lamine's dribbling. It wasn't his speed. It wasn't even his incredible left foot. It was his decision-making. For someone so young, Lamine almost never panicked. Most teenagers try to force difficult plays just to impress people. Lamine didn't. He always seemed to know exactly when to dribble, exactly when to pass, exactly when to slow the game down. That level of football intelligence is something coaches spend years trying to teach. Some players never develop it. Lamine already had it as a teenager. That's why Xavi didn't hesitate. Instead of protecting him like most managers would, he trusted him. He gave him opportunities in the biggest matches, Champions League nights, La Liga title races, high-pressure situations where experienced players often struggle. And every single time, Lamine looked completely fearless. That shocked everyone. Most young players need months, sometimes years, to adapt to elite football. Lamine seemed comfortable almost immediately. But talent alone wasn't enough. Xavi constantly praised another quality that fans rarely noticed: his mentality. According to Xavi, Lamine never behaved like a player satisfied with simply reaching the first team. He wanted more. Every training session became another opportunity to improve. He listened, he learned, he asked questions, and perhaps most importantly, he never stopped working. That attitude reminded many people of football's greatest legends, because almost every world-class player shares one characteristic: they are obsessed with becoming better. Then came the comparisons. Some fans compared him to Lionel Messi. Others compared him to Neymar. Some even said he was the greatest talent La Masia had produced since Messi himself. Those comparisons created enormous pressure, too much pressure for most teenagers. But Xavi refused to let the outside noise affect him. He repeated the same message over and over again. Don't compare him. Let him grow. Let him enjoy football. Because Xavi understood something many fans forgot. Lamine didn't need to become the next Messi. He only needed to become the first Lamine Yamal. Still, as the months passed, something incredible started happening. Everything Xavi predicted slowly became reality. The confidence kept growing. The assists kept coming. The goals became bigger. The performances became impossible to ignore. And before anyone truly realized what was happening, one of football's brightest stars had already arrived. But as impressive as his Barcelona performances were, they were only the beginning, because the biggest stage in football was still waiting for him. And once he put on Spain's shirt, the entire world finally understood exactly why Xavi had believed in him from day one. Then came the tournament that changed everything: the FIFA World Cup. This was no longer La Liga, no longer the Champions League, no longer Barcelona. This was the biggest stage in football, the tournament where legends are created. Many people wondered if Lamine Yamal was finally going to struggle. After all, World Cups are different. The pressure is unimaginable. Every mistake is remembered forever. Every great performance becomes part of football history. And this time, the entire world was watching. Could a teenager really dominate against the best national teams on earth? Lamine answered that question almost immediately. He didn't play with fear. He didn't hide. He demanded the ball. He attacked defenders one after another. He created chances that seemed impossible. Most importantly, he played exactly the same way he always had. Confident, creative, fearless. It didn't matter whether the opponent was a football giant or an underdog. Lamine treated every defender the same. He challenged them again and again and again. That's when millions of fans finally realized something. Xavi wasn't exaggerating. He wasn't protecting his former player. He wasn't creating unnecessary hype. He was simply describing what he had already seen. The player everyone was watching during the World Cup was the same player Xavi watched every day in training. That explains why his development felt so natural. Nothing was accidental. Nothing came from luck. Every performance was the result of years of preparation, years of learning Barcelona's philosophy, years of developing inside La Masia, years of trusting his own ability. Perhaps the most impressive part wasn't his talent. Football has always produced talented players. What separated Lamine from many others was his personality. He never looked intimidated, even in the biggest matches, even with millions watching around the world. He kept smiling. He kept asking for the ball. He kept trying the difficult pass instead of the safe one. That's exactly what the greatest footballers do. They don't play to avoid mistakes. They play to change games. And that's precisely what Lamine started doing for Spain. Every match increased his confidence. Every performance made defenders respect him more. Every tournament made people realize they were witnessing something special. Of course, his journey is only beginning. Football history is full of young stars who started brilliantly before fading away. That's why Xavi always asks people to stay patient. Talent opens the first door. Hard work decides how far you go. The good news for Spain is that Lamine appears to possess both: the talent to become one of football's greatest players and the mentality to keep improving every single season. If he continues on this path, the frightening part is that we may not have seen the best version of Lamine Yamal yet. The player dominating defenders today could become even stronger, even smarter, even more complete. And if that happens, Spain may have found the superstar capable of leading them into another golden era. Years from now, people will probably say they always knew Lamine Yamal was destined for greatness. But the truth is, very few actually believed it. One man did. One man watched him every day. One man trusted him before anyone else. That man was Xavi Hernández. And looking back now, maybe he wasn't predicting the future. Maybe he had already seen it.